Next company to present is Alzecure Pharma with the CEO Martin Jönsson. Take it away.
Thanks so much. Hello, my name is Martin Jönsson and I'm the CEO of Alzecure Pharma. We at Alzecure, we are focusing on Alzheimer's disease and pain, and I'm here to give you an update on how we are doing in our project. And we are a spin-out out of AstraZeneca, and we have been initially funded by the Swedish Alzheimer's Fund, who are now shareholders in the company. And we are based at Karolinska Institute and are working with several groups at Karolinska. And we are focusing on small molecules and developing first-in-class properties. We have one project called Alzstatin in Alzheimer's to prevent that individuals are developing Alzheimer's. Then we have NeuroRestore, which we are developing to help individuals who have cognitive problems with learning and memory capabilities, and here also focusing on Alzheimer's. And then we also have two pain projects. And we are listed at Nasdaq since 2018. We have a market cap of around 300 million and a cash position of 21. Our business model is that we should out-license our project in early clinical phase, which we define as up to phase 2. And then to fund the company, the additional projects after out-licensing through the out-licensing. And this is what our pipeline is looking like that we have developing. In the first project, NeuroRestore, we have positive phase 1 data developing for Alzheimer's. And here we have a compound that has several different indication opportunities. And we are now preparing for phase 2, and we have received a grant from the European Innovation Council, and we are immensely proud of that, and we will talk more about what this means. Additionally, in Alzstatin, we last year chose our lead candidate that we have developed in-house, and we are now preparing for phase 1. And then in our pain project, we have ACD440 for neuropathic pain. And here we have positive phase 2 data in chronic patients. And we are now preparing for the next phase. And then we have ACD440, another pain project that we are developing with regard to the indication of osteoarthritis. And here we also are preparing it for phase 1. Our project, we are working with top-class key opinion leaders like Henrik Zetterberg and Bengt Winblad and Maria Eriksdotter. We're also fortunate that we, since last year, also have Eli Lilly's former head of research and development, Jan Lundberg, who has invested in the company and is sitting on our board and is now also active in our discussions, also with external parties. When it comes to our Alzheimer's projects, we have two. And Alzstatin, where we are focusing on that individuals should not develop Alzheimer's. And then NeuroRestore to help individuals who have cognitive problems with learning and memory capabilities. And both these projects are validated by external parties like Roche for Alzstatin, and NeuroRestore, we have Eisai. And this helps us in our discussions with external parties. So, Alzstatin to prevent that individuals develop Alzheimer's. Here we are focusing on that individuals should not develop plaque, because when you get plaque in the brain, your brain is being broken down. And how do we address this? We address it through that a protein is cleaved out, A-beta-42, which is coagulating up to bigger and bigger fragments, creating plaque. And when the plaque is in the brain, it destroys the brain, breaks it down. And to go in early, we want to see to it that individuals do not develop Alzheimer's. So how can we do this? We have compounds which are minimizing the production of this toxic plaque, A-beta-42. And as we are downregulating this production. We are also upregulating the production of protecting proteins like A beta 37 and 38. And it has been shown that individuals who have higher amounts of these proteins also can, to less extent, are developing cognitive disorders. Additionally, what we have been publishing this year, which is actually groundbreaking, that we have done together with University of Washington, with Henrik Zetterberg, Karolinska, and Sahlgrenska, is producing new data, which is showing that it looks like these compounds not only are diminishing the production of plaque, but actually in this study, we also showed that when we were treating with an Alzstatin compound, we were also reducing existing plaque in the system. Plaque clearance of around 30% in 28 days. And this is groundbreaking. And the different patient groups which we are focusing on is patients who have developed Alzheimer's to slow the disease progression. Then to also the possibility to combination with antibodies, but ultimately to see to it that we treat individuals who are at risk at developing Alzheimer and going in early before these individuals has cognitive problems. And we are now preparing for phase 1, phase 2, and already in a phase 1 study, we will be able to show that we can diminish the production of these toxic proteins. So not only looking at safety and tolerability, but also how we can decrease this production. And on this compound, we have a long patent time. So we expect to have exclusivity until 2050, because these are brand new molecules that we have developed in-house. Our other project, NeuroRestore, to improve learning and memory capabilities. Here we are preparing for phase 2, and we have gotten a grant from the European Innovation Council. And here we are focusing on that there are neurotrophins, BDNF and NGF, which are key for learning and memory capability and brain health. And we have shown that we can increase the signaling of these neurotrophins. And we have also data now that is showing that we have potential disease-modifying abilities to improve mitochondrial function, anti-inflammation, neural outgrowth, etc. And here we have shown preclinically that we can increase the ability to learn, store what you have learned, and also to remember what you have learned. And here we have positive phase 1 data, and we have also shown that we are activating centers in the brain which are key for learning and memory capabilities, as well as treating depression. So now we are preparing for phase 2, actively preparing. And here we have been awarded a grant by the European Innovation Council. This year was the only Swedish company who actually got a grant from the European Innovation Council, and they are also now offering the opportunity to invest in our company, which we now also are preparing for. And also on this project, we have a long patent time, so we have protection in all major markets, including in the US. And then our pain projects. TrkA-NAM to treat osteoarthritis, and then ACD440 for neuropathic pain. And this project is built on what has been awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2021. TrkA-NAM builds on science where they have shown that anti-NGF antibodies could truly reduce pain in osteoarthritis, but they had side effects. What we have developed are molecules that can block off NGF, and we have shown that we have very good effects in line with the antibodies, and also that we have a very promising safety profile. And here we are developing oral medications. And this is a field where there's a large interest by several different companies. You have had Pfizer, Merck being active, and you also have Alzecure, who now are in phase 2B. And we have a molecule which looks very promising, which is differentiated towards Alzecure, and Alzecure are expecting a readout this year. And in the fall of last year, we presented data that our effect is in line with the antibodies. This has not been shown by Alzecure. And also here, we have a very good patent time, exclusivity expected to 2050. And then we have ACD440, a TRP1 antagonist against neuropathic pain. This is a project we have in-licensed from which was initially in AstraZeneca as an oral. We have developed a gel. And here we have now positive phase 2A data that we are working with regard to the next clinical trial. And in this area, the patients really want better medications. 80% are not experiencing adequate pain relief. And 50%, over 50% of these patients are actually getting opioids. And here we have data showing that we can reduce the experienced pain with around 50% in temperature-induced neuropathic pain. And this without any safety or tolerability problems. So this is a candidate that we now are preparing for phase 2 and are actively in contact with regulatory bodies with regard to coming trials. So why Alzecure? We are focusing on areas with immense unmet medical needs. The number of Alzheimer's patients are expected to triple in the coming 30 years. And also in the pain area, we are expecting, or we are seeing more and more pain problems with regard to an aging population and overweight problems. We have a strong team that have developed what we have presented to you. And we also have properties with first-in-class properties that we have developed in-house. So we have the capabilities. And we are doing parallel investments and have several projects, as you have seen, which are very promising. And all of our projects have multi-billion sales opportunities. And we have been developing from an idea company into a company that now are in phase 2. And additionally, we have been validated by the European Innovation Council, who have given us a grant and are now open to invest in our company. So that is what we are focusing on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you.
If you could start by elaborating how Alzstatin ACD680 differs from antibodies like Leqembi.
Yeah. So Leqembi is an antibody, as you said, and what Leqembi focus on is going into patients who already have Alzheimer's and have a brain which is deteriorated. What we are focusing on is going in early so you do not develop Alzheimer's disease. The antibodies today is based on their approvals. They can only be used in up to 10% of the Alzheimer's patients. We are expecting to actually be able to treat all of them.
And I know BioArctic is looking to check if Leqembi can be used even earlier.
Yeah.
And they also develop a brain transporter technology, which easily put will make the antibodies even better.
Yeah.
What are your comments on this?
I think this is very promising. I think that if you can have a pill like Alzstatin, where you can go in early and look through a blood sample if you have an increased production of these toxic proteins and also have genetic risk, then to be able to take a pill like Alzstatin, I think is let's say superior.
And you mentioned Roche,
yes,
who also develops a gamma secretase modulator.
Yeah.
And they anticipate the phase 2A interim results next year.
Yeah.
How do your compound compare to theirs, and what will the results from their study mean for you?
What they have done so far is really validating that you can utilize a gamma secretase modulator. So this means a lot to us. It has increased the interest in our project. How we differ is that we have synthesized what we believe is their molecule, and it looks like we have a molecule which is about 7 times more potent. and which is also done in a way. So we also think that if there are safety problems, we will have less risks of safety problems. So we think we are very well positioned, and we think it's great that they are taking the lead. They are showing what's possible, and they are also through big investments leading the way, showing the regulatory way and everything. So we can hitchhike on what they are doing, and it's also de-risking, how should I say, de-risking for other potential parties. And we see more and more companies who want to have gamma secretase modulators. And even ASI now at ADPD had gamma secretase modulators as one of the expecting treatments approach. And they want to combine it with an antibody as well.
Do ASI, do they develop a gamma secretase modulator?
Not to our knowledge. We know that they had projects with in this area a long time ago, but their molecule had safety problems and so on. So they closed that down. But it is a very attractive approach.
And can you elaborate on your clinical plans for ACD680?
Yeah, so our clinical plans is that we want to go into healthy volunteers and do a so-called SAD-MAD. And then based on discussions with external parties, we also see that we want to have a patient cohort so we can show the effects in patients. So one traditional SAD-MAD, phase 1, and then also Alzheimer's patient cohort. And we will look at how we diminish the production of the toxic proteins, A-beta 4042, and how we increase A-beta 37 and 38.
And if we move over to your other Alzheimer project, NeuroRestore, you receive a grant from the EIC of 2.5 million euros.
Yeah.
And then a possible equity financing of between 0.5 to 10 million euros. Can you explain to us how the process looks like and what we can expect from this?
Yeah, first we will receive the grant, and that will be in tranches. And then we are now preparing also to be able to receive any investment. And to do that, we need to do certain things, and also with documentation, etc. And then being in focus with investors, new investors who can co-invest with the European Innovation Council. So that's a big focus for us. And we are very happy that we got this grant, and also the offer with regard to an investment, because not all companies get that, and we got both, and that's a credit to the Alzecure team.
And are you having a meeting with investors? Have you had meetings, or are they continuing?
We have had meetings, and we're continuing to having meetings, and we are meetings with additional investors. We are going to Bio International next week, and meeting several different parties on several different projects.
And if we move over to your pain program, ACD440, you have presented positive phase 2A data, and now you're preparing for a phase 2 study again. Can you explain what this study will be, in which area this will be done in?
We are having communication with the regulatory bodies, and so far it's looking good, and we are waiting for the final feedback, and doing a trial which can take us through a phase 2 and potentially also into a phase 3. I don't want to state here exactly which indication we are going for, but we are doing progress, and we look forward to hope to be able to report on that shortly.
You mentioned orphan indication as a possible way forward. Is that still something that's open?
Absolutely. We think that an orphan indication is something very attractive, because that allows you to a smaller study, less expensive, and also that you can approach, you can go through the development phases much quicker. And then if you have positive results, you will have a 7 years exclusivity. And if you add additional orphan indication, you can have an additional 7 years. And then if you want, you can also add a major indication like peripheral neuropathic pain, and then you can work from there. And if you have a package that you have feedback from the FDA, for instance, it's also increases the opportunity to do an out licensing, because you can also show what the development cost is expected to be.
And a final question: where do you see the company in 1 year?
I expect us to have a couple of development trials ongoing, and having approached additional today preclinical phases, which then will be prepared for clinical phase as well. So we are evolving, and we are now also preparing to grow our development organization.
Good luck ahead, Martin, and thank you for coming.
Thanks so much, Philip. Thank you.